tell you about the time I was busking on the street and we had...
It's like street performing.
Yeah.
Were
you doing the bucket drums?
No, I was actually playing it just like a cajon, and my buddy had like
a cajon.
Yeah, it's like a box drum.
The box drum you sit on it.
Yeah.
It's like the wooden.
I've got a cajon myself. I play with the like brushes.
Yeah.
It sounds so fucking crispy. I love it.
They are actually pretty good sounding for something so simple. But playing, and somebody like bought us a 6-pack of beer, which is very sweet.
Yeah,
but
nice.
it wasn't a twist off like beer bottle type or whatever. And I'm like playing and I'm trying to like open it one-handed, and then I realize it's like not a twist off, and then I'm like, fuck it, whatever. And this drunk chick comes out of nowhere, grabs it and bites it open, which you can't. I've seen people do that before, but she took some of the glass with it and handed it back to me, and I was just like, ugh. And then she just gives me this like shit-eating grin, and then just like stumbles off, and
with
I'm like,
blood coming out of her mouth. Oh my god! Is it the Grinch that came out of nowhere?
That was Satan.
In her head, she's just like, "That's not the only thing this mouth can do." And you're like, "I don't want any of it. I don't want anything in your mouth."
Fucking big chunk of glass just stuck in her lip like a plug of chew.
Would you believe I have gingivitis?
yes, ma'am, I would.
She's using glass like a toothpick. You're like, that's why
How
I got to use to pick it out.
How about you gingivite this? No!
Well, you see what my asshole can do.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
It's like a cigar cutter.
I was just about to say, break it off.
I was going to say, it can also open beer bottles.
As long as your dick's got beer in it.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Murder Schmurder.
Hey,
we're back, baby.
That's not where I would have picked to open it up. Yeah. All right. Hey, this is Joseph.
Hey, this is Austin.
This is Jamie.
This is Grant.
Welcome to it.
We're having a great day today.
We're having a great day over
We're hoping
here.
that you're having a great day.
Here in the Trashville Studios, we're having a great day.
I'm just talking over here.
If you're not having a great day, like
You wanna
maybe
do that
some
thing
of
where
us...
we
We
interrupt
hope
each
that
other?
we
Oh,
can
yeah,
make
I
it
love
better
that.
for you.
That's great.
Right. We hope that we can make it better for you.
What about that fun idea where we interrupt each other?
I like that idea a lot, actually.
Yeah, right.
This
I mean,
podcast
just
is
like
called Interrupt
what if,
with Friends.
What if we were just, talking amongst
It'd be really
over
cool
ourselves.
if somebody just,
Yeah, it'd be really cool if anyone could just interrupt me right now, because that's kind of what people expect from us.
And then when you're trying to tell a story, we'll just have Jules edit it out with a bomb effect.
I heard that.
That was so funny. And
was really
definitely Jamie's idea.
I'm sure it was.
Hey, Austin, if you feel bad, don't try.
I don't feel bad.
No,
I
it's
expect
okay.
it now. I expect it. Right.
I mean, it's not like you recorded
2 episodes.
three episodes that we can't use.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? And then I showed up, and I got razzed a little bit for not being exactly on time, 8 minutes late. Fuck me, right? But it's fine. I'm here all the time, and I try to be professional. But no, I wrote another script that we're not ultimately going to use anyway, so I don't even know why I'm here.
Today's story is coming from our good buddy Joseph.
I don't know why I even bothered.
I'm expecting this time for it to be like a power surge.
Yeah, right. We're dealing with a little bit of weather today.
The storm's happening.
Yeah, we're just going to get struck by lightning and all the
It's a
power's
little
going to
bit
go
of
off.
a biblical downpour going on.
There's my knocking on wood for you, bud.
Here's my slapping it down on the wood.
There it is, buddy. Wood on wood, baby.
Your penis looks a lot like your hand.
I know.
Terrifying.
Yeah, I know. It's weird, right? It can
It's
also
just-
grip stuff.
It's got a lot of digits for his penis.
Right.
Yeah. You guys don't have a penis that ends in 5 points?
How are you flexing your foreskin?
It takes a lot of work. Let's just say TrueFit has a band.
Let's just say I'm not allowed in a lot of places.
Do you know they have a ladies only section? Not anymore.
It looks like Cell from Dragon Ball Z's tail. Sucking up androids.
Speaking of sucking, Joseph, I believe you have an opening bit for us.
Hey, look at that. He came with a story and a bit.
I came with an opening bit
Yeah,
and a whole ass script.
We're never getting through this.
No, we sure the fuck won't. Hot lemon water. Let's go.
It's okay. It's not going to air anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say.
Right.
Beep. No. So there's a little bit of me that's a daredevil.
You?
I like to take risks. I like to, I've done a lot of dumb shit. Right. And I don't do drugs anymore all the time. I don't do most drugs anymore. So I have to compensate by doing things that are a little extreme at times. You know what I mean? Like just to try to get my blood pumping, and also because I got problems.
I 100% resonate with that. Yeah.
And I've chilled out a lot.
Sometimes Joseph stays up past 10 p.m.
I fucking stayed up till 10 p.m. yesterday.
Damn.
Man, I know. I wasn't even sleepy at all.
I didn't yawn once.
I didn't. I wasn't sleepy until I got into bed like a big boy. The swishing helps. So all that being said, in my old age, I've chilled a little bit. The joints aren't what they used to be. My tolerance isn't as high as it used to be. But I still like doing dumb shit. Right? Yeah. And sometimes I see things that I'm like, there's absolutely no way on God's green earth that this is going to be good for me or pleasurable. And I got to do it anyway. And so I thought what I wanted to do was rip off a segment from a podcast I like called Doughboys called Snack or Whack. Mm-hmm. And I saw these things and I thought, you know what? I want to know if these fuck or if they suck. Drum roll.
He's got a Kroger bag, everybody. That's the cellophane.
He's got like 3 Kroger bags.
We're going to...
Sour Patch Kid Oreos?
Sour Patch Kid Oreos, and we're going to try them on air.
Dear God.
You know what? I'm glad it was this because I totally thought you were going to bring in like something stupid spicy. Just ruin our night.
Like a one chip challenge type thing? No.
I expected the one chip challenge.
I got more of a sweet tooth.
Good. Thank God.
Grant looks like he would have rather me pulled out a gun. He does not look happy.
We're going to do Russian roulette.
And honestly, neither does Austin.
I have to admit, like the packaging does not look appealing.
No, the packaging is like a very vibrant piss yellow.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Sour Patch Kids package, but then you got the Oreo logo.
And is that one Sour Patch Kid holding a vape? What is that? What is
that's a crayon.
That's a crayon.
Which I don't know why. I'm not sure what you're drawing.
Yeah, they're not coloring anything.
I mean, you know, you see the commercials where they draw mustaches on you while you sleep.
Does the orange one have like a peg leg or a prosthetic foot?
No, there's just something that's like, there's something that's dripped all over. It's like a blue drippage on the orange.
Oh.
On the orange
so he's
Sour Patch Kid.
He's just dirty.
Yeah, you know.
Great.
Hey, rip it open. I'm down.
Yeah, let's try.
Here we go.
And here's the thing. I love Oreos, but I do. This is before we get into this. I think Oreos have gone too far.
They've gone too far.
There's too many Oreo
I
flavors.
didn't know this existed, and I'm
the Oreo aisle, which is basically an aisle now.
It's like a third of the Kroger
it's
aisle.
It's a cocaine
for
fever dream.
It's insane. There's cakesters. There's double stuff. Double stuff's the only one you really need. They got the
the vanilla ones are my favorite.
Oh my God,
the vanilla ones.
Are there
like the yellow ones?
Yeah.
Is it like bits of Sour Patch Kids?
I think it's
within
in
the
cookie itself. Yeah,
that's weird.
So they're pale.
Ooh.
These are the.
So I'm looking up all the Oreo flavors. Have you tried?
How many are there?
The churro cream.
No,
that actually sounds kind of good.
Sounds kind of sexy.
Churro cream is probably what they called you in high school.
Do you have... yeah, they did.
I got no puss in high school, so that
hell yeah, dude! Come on,
hell yeah,
across the table.
I did pretty well.
Cheers. All right, here we go.
Cheers.
Everybody bumped their cookies.
We're that podcast right now. You know, I'm actually impressed.
At how much they suck?
No,
I don't hate it.
What?
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it at all.
Are you guys crazy?
It's like a lemon cookie.
Yeah, so he's got.
There is a lemon aspect to it. I think that's helping.
These things are dog shit.
No, that backfired.
It's. I thought you guys were going to be like spitting them up and like. These are awful.
No.
I've eaten way worse things.
Yeah. There's been worse shit in my mouth.
You know what? You guys can have this entire container then, because
I don't like the second bite. I think I got
there
more
is a
of the,
weird
the
like
gelatin.
After you're done with the cookie, there is a weird like it sits weird
because there's gelatin pieces up in that cookie dough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's also like the Sour Patch Kids flavor pieces. They're crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have like 2 or 3. I think I would have one and be like, "Wow, that was better than I expected," and then
throw the box away.
Yeah. Well, the box would sit in the pantry until I was like, "Oh my God, this is all I got left," and then I'd probably throw it away.
Yeah, it's probably going to stay here, and I might have like 2 or 3 of those.
I got to be honest, I was expecting
Hide
a
them in
much bigger
Justin's room.
reaction.
At 1:00 in the morning. Yeah, that's a good idea. I had the weirdest midnight snack the other night.
What was that?
A salad.
Okay,
That's not so weird.
I don't know.
it's weird for a midnight snack, but it's
That's
good.
what I mean.
What kind of salad?
Did you make the salad or you just had a salad?
No, it was just in the fridge. So it was a lazy man salad for sure. But
Oh, like a pre-made salad bag?
No, it was literally from like a Euro place or whatever.
Oh, that's not too crazy.
Back when I could
I
afford
remember while
things,
I was eating it, I was like, "This is weird."
No,
back when I could afford things, I would get like the little salad bag, and I'd be like, ham, and I'd throw some ham in there, cheese, you know, some ranch dressing.
I'm telling you, one of the healthiest things you can
Yeah.
do on the cheap is go to Publix and get those pre-made salads. Sometimes they're like $7 to $10, but like it's one of the easiest like healthy meals to have, where you just like you get to be super lazy, and then like like a midnight snack, smash one of those.
Yeah.
And then you're like, man, I'm killing it at this adult thing.
I love the Publix fried chicken box, man. That shit slaps every time.
The Publix onion rings are so good at
Yeah.
the hot food counter.
Yeah, they really are good.
Oh my god, they're thick, they're battery.
Let's all go to Publix. Fuck this
Dude,
shit.
I'm telling you,
We should
actually,
get sponsored by Publix.
I was gonna say I was trying to get there. I couldn't get it out of my face.
That's
though.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say these Sour Patch Kid. I say it fucks.
It fucks.
I think it fucks.
Okay.
Like if you give me real high glass of milk,
Oh yeah,
these
stoned with some milk and some Sour Patch. Yeah,
because it's got a weird film to it. Like at the end of it, like
Is that a positive?
I don't know if I like it or not.
Jamie's over here like I need milk.
It's making me want to lick my mouth in all the wrong ways.
I didn't like that.
Yeah,
I didn't like the way you said that. But I would say it fucks.
You know, they're wondering why our kids are fat.
Yeah.
I mean, they put candy in a cookie.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not even the candy.
They've
It's
been
like a
putting candy
chemically
in
altered
cookie. You ever have a
structure
fucking-
to the chemically altered candy.
a chocolate M&M cookie, like that's
Chocolate
candy.
M&M cookie's way different. We're not dragging that through the mud. Those
I
are
mean,
delicious.
it's still candy in a cookie. Have you had a peppermint cookie?
No thanks.
I guess
Pepper-
just to
don't
make
like
the
that.
distinction of like, to me, like the sweets world is like confectionaries, chocolates, and then candy. And candy is like Skittles, Sour Patch Kids, you know, basically anything with animal hooves in it.
Yeah. Anything with a
Gelatin.
stabilizing agent.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, gelatin is made with animal parts.
Yeah. If you didn't know that.
Hooves, skin,
Bones.
pretty much everything that's left over. They just grind it up into a little paste.
They either go to chicken McNuggets or
Yep.
gelatin.
You remember the pink slime thing
Yeah.
when that came out?
Yeah.
That's pretty gnarly.
And then they were like,
What
we
do you
don't
mean-
do that anymore.
what do you mean the
Fucking
pink slime
bullshit,
thing?
McDonald's. Fuck you.
What?
What do you mean the pink slime thing?
When it
So
was like,
McDonald's chicken nuggets
This is-
comes in a pink slime.
Right.
Yeah,
And then they glorp it into little pre-designed molds.
Yeah.
And that makes the shapes of the chicken McNuggets.
yeah.
talking about when that first came
That
out.
was a big deal when it happened.
Yeah,
Did you just
but
look at it and go like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you
I'm
know,
gonna
like,
have some right now.
it's the same thing with like hot dogs. Like, you don't want to know what it like. Chicken McNuggets
Yeah,
is
that's
like
true.
the scrapings of whatever's left.
I like a
but
good hot
have you
dog.
seen when Gordon Ramsay does it in front of a whole bunch of kids?
Ooh,
I don't think so.
I like that. I
Gordon Ramsay, like he
Does
like
what?
he shows how
He
the
slimes?
chicken, like he basically pulls off all this like
My
little
God.
excess gross meat, puts it in a food blender, blends it up, and it's all pink and it's gross. And the kid's like, oh, gross. And it's like, and that's what chicken McNuggets are made of. Now, who wants some? And they're all like, I do.
No, you donkey.
Yeah. He's like, God damn it, kids. You're not paying attention.
It's like I'm trying to help you.
That's so good.
Yeah. that's the epitome of America right there.
Right there, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, can you believe it? It's like, oh my God, that's gross.
Right.
Do you want any? Well,
I mean, not gonna lie, I still fucking fuck with some
Fuck yeah.
McNuggets.
Dude,
every
if you
now and
pulled chicken McNuggets out of that Kroger bag right now, I'd still be eating them.
God, dude, I admit, I miss McNuggets. I miss nuggets in general.
then. I mean, they're still there.
I know.
Just
They got
gotta-
those
I just
Impossible
can't do it.
Nuggies.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
they're
Impossible
okay.
Nuggies. I think they're pretty good.
I mean, they
they're
are
they're
pretty
actually
good.
not
It's just
bad.
like I think of like just an actual like fucking heaping basket of chicken tenders and
You're getting turned on. You bricked up
a little bit. I'm like at a half chub right now.
Just don't tell your wife, you know. Do
I
a
guess. She would
shame
know.
trip to McDonald's, you know.
I would walk in the house and she'd look at me and be like, "You did it." I'd break down crying with chicken grease all over my fingers. I'm sorry.
I know that face.
I'm a weak man.
I'm just a human being.
She catches you with like text messages to like us. It's like, God, it was so good.
So good.
Who is this?
Just fucking like glory hole shots of like a fucking like basket of like the bread that soaks up all the hot chicken grease at the end. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All the pickles. God, fucking come on.
I'm a big fan of the McDoubles. That is my
Yeah.
jam. I get 2 of them every time. And then a large chicken McNugget meal.
Damn, you're smashing over
Buddy,
there, bro.
I'm doing. I haven't done it in a month. I'm doing a lot better.
Solid process.
No
Yeah.
fast food for a month?
Not no fast food, but no McDonald's.
Okay.
Baby
steps.
I haven't given up Taco Bell yet. It's still my ride or die.
You and Taco
But
Bell.
I have had Taco Bell once this month.
That's really
Just
good
one
for
time.
you. My favorite thing that happened, I don't think I've said this on the podcast, was we sometimes order food here to my house where the studio is, and Austin accidentally left my address on his Uber Eats. So I woke up to a text message. It was pretty late. I think you had gotten off of work or something.
Yeah.
And it was like, enjoy the Taco Bell. And I was like, what? And then I was like, well, maybe, oh shit, I bet he accidentally delivered it to my house. And so I walked downstairs, I opened the front door, nothing there. And I was like, huh, weird. And then I opened the fridge. There's a giant bag of Taco Bell
That's sinister.
in there from my roommate putting it in the fridge when he got home. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
The Taco Bell's coming from inside the house.
Hilarious. Well,
But I ate all of it.
yeah. And let me tell you what all of it usually
Hang on,
is.
didn't you eat it for breakfast or something like that?
I had 2 of them for breakfast.
Absolutely.
I sure did.
I would like to hear your go-to.
You don't. You're gonna judge me. But
I
get
know firsthand
a
and secondhand.
a beefy chalupa,
It's a poop joke.
a cheesy gordita
I
crunch,
got it.
a beefy 5-layer burrito, and a chicken quesadilla with a large Baja Blast.
Damn,
Every
dude.
time.
That's fucking
Pretty dope.
That's real.
It's diabolical.
That's awesome.
Right.
So I had a quesadilla, Baja Blast, and a chalupa for breakfast that morning.
God
And
damn.
how did the rest of your day go?
Terrible.
Now that I'm energized to do absolutely dick shit nothing.
Hey Grant, we're missing a bag of fertilizer. No problem.
No, the best is when you Google how to heat up beefy 5-layer burrito in the oven, and I mean, just having it the second time in the morning, fresh out of the oven, it's actually better.
It's pretty good.
It crisps up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I've done it once this month, and it's almost a new month. So
We're almost
Counting the
there.
days, baby.
yeah.
Joseph, do you have
Cool.
an episode ready for
Yeah,
us?
well. How was that?
I think he's disappointed about
He's
it.
disappointed.
I am.
all of
These
us.
things fucking suck, man. I am so surprised that you guys like them.
Like's a strong word.
Tolerate.
Yeah, tolerate.
Tolerated.
I don't
for
really
sure.
like sweets all that much.
And Austin, you're so intolerant.
But I'd say I like these.
So what?
Intolerant.
I can't yes and that.
Boy, howdy am I.
Right. Just because my favorite Looney Tunes character is Foghorn Leghorn does not make me intolerant. Okay.
I don't think it does.
Say, boy. About as sharp as a bowling ball.
He is
Now
great.
listen to me when I'm talking to you, son. I am obsessed with those Foghorn Leghorn.
I wish more people talk like that.
Oh yeah, my uncle Warren talks like that.
Does he? Really?
Yeah,
He's going to
from-
go to Kentucky, dude.
He's from Arkansas.
Oh,
And,
Arkansas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna go out to the pasture. We're gonna shoot ourselves some skeet. Oh boy, yeah. He always talks
Awesome.
like that all the time. It's my favorite accent I've ever heard in my
You know,
life.
the internet really did ruin accents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're so global now.
I know. Feels like everyone's kind of got a Valley Girl accent a little bit.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
maybe you should join me in the fight against the globalists.
Well, speaking of terrible things to put in your mouth, today we're going to be talking about the ultimate in delicacies, the most mouth-watering, spit-dribbling, delectable dishes, the original ass-eating cannibalism.
Oh, talk about the fentanyl and mixed meats today.
That's right. We're getting back at. We talked a lot about cannibals on this podcast. Everybody eating everybody. The study of anthropophagy, which is just munching on folks, Goes back to the earliest primeval days of humanity. Archaeologists have discovered bone fragments and fossil records suggesting that both anatomically modern humans, Homo sapiens, all of us, and Neanderthals both practiced cannibalism. Usually it was in times of extreme famine, also during war, as well as for ritualized ceremonies. Ceremonies kind of run the gambit between reasoning, but they're usually in the context of either absorbing an enemy's power, like the Kroot in Warhammer. Shout out Warhammer people. It's just for me. That's okay. Or for humiliating enemies, which the Maori of New Zealand would do, which is a real group of people.
Like they would like capture people and then like eat some of them in front of the captured.
Yeah, what they did was they viewed it as like everything has a spirit, and the ultimate insult to an enemy is to turn them into poop.
Oh,
Okay, I'm there for the reasoning.
Yeah.
Could you imagine standing across that guy on a battlefield?
I know, big dude doing the fucking like Maori war tribe
munching
dance,
on like a
fucking eating on a leg.
Yeah. And then turning around and pooping it out.
Yeah.
And then pointing at you.
Yeah. That'd be a scary ass guy. It's like, I can't wait to wipe you off my ass later. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Yeah,
About to meet
I
some
can't wait to
corn.
wipe you off my ass. Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, seriously. So before we get into the main topic for today, I want to level with y'all. Reading about the history and study of cannibalism, like I said, people have been eating each other since there have been people. And take what I say with a grain of salt, because I'm not an anthropologist. I just play one on a podcast. But a lot of reports about widespread endemic systematic cannibalism seem to come from missionaries, imperialists, and ethnocentric anthropologists. People love to depict Pacific Islanders, Australian Aboriginals, and African tribes as being bloodthirsty tribes of people who sharpen their teeth and just cannot wait to put down their own half-eaten babies for a chance at the other white meat. And I'm not going to abide by that. All right? That's not what we're talking about.
Nice.
We've talked about plenty of weirdo cannibals all on our own, from Ed Gein to Levi Boone Helm, Andre Chikatilo, and Albert Fish. So instead of doing some bullshit, Eurocentric, deep anthropological dive, we're going to move on to another couple of weirdo cannibals, Armin Muse and Bernd Jürgen Brandes.
Bernd Jürgen Brandes.
These are German names, so be prepared for me to not do good with German. No, that was great.
Wrong accent.
Hinga Dinga. It's kind of similar. It's white European. It's fine.
That's fine. That's true. Man, we can make fun of them. That's great.
Oh, yeah,
We can, not you, Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're different.
No. What was it? When I was doing improv classes, I did an Indian accent, or I did an accent of a white person imitating an Indian accent.
Okay.
Right.
And
That's what
the
we
Which
call
is
it.
very different from doing an Indian accent.
Right.
Well,
I think he was in a safe zone.
the character
If it
was like
clear.
I was a scammer who was trying to scam somebody using an Indian accent over the phone.
Okay.
But after I did it, I was the only person of color in the group. And the white teacher told me, let's try and stay away from doing any non-white people accents. He was like, I thought it was the weirdest rule, but that was the rule.
Okay.
That was the rule they ran by.
So you can do Irish all day.
You can do Irish, Scottish,
German,
French.
English, German, French,
Okay.
Australian.
Australian.
Crikey.
Midwestern. That's my favorite.
Midwestern's a good one.
Yeah.
But they were like, don't do anything. Don't go in the scary territories.
Interesting.
Just trying to cancel comedy.
Certainly not a Chinese accent.
Well, yeah,
You don't get it. I'm playing a Chinese guy.
No, I have to put my eyes to the side to do it.
Good Lord.
I have to get into character.
It plays better audio. I'll admit that.
Oh, man.
Okay. So let's set the scene. Germany, 1961. The strudel pipes are filled. The Berlin Wall is standing strong. And the schnitzel trains are back to running on time.
yeah, das ist gut.
Enter Armin Muse, one of Germany's favorite and surprisingly still least problematic individuals, who came spilling out of his mother's womb on the 1st of December.
Yeah.
He was born the only child of Waltraud Waltraud.
Waltraud.
Yeah, yeah.
Waltraud.
Waltraud,
Waltraud.
Waltraud.
Waltraud Muse.
Yeah, maybe, I
It's
don't
German
know.
for Walter.
Just say Walter then.
What are you guys making this hard for?
Yeah, seriously.
Don't even take my word for that. That is a fucking.
It sounds okay.
Nah, it's probably wrong.
It's probably wrong.
I think
Could be.
Welcome to Murder Schmurder. Probably wrong.
probably wrong. That should be in a disclaimer somewhere.
That should be that should be in like the intro episode.
Now that I think about it, I think Walter is German for Walter.
I really like that for our log line, tagline, whatever.
Probably-
Funny, but probably wrong.
Probably wrong.
I wouldn't bank on funny.
We're laughing.
I'm tired today. Armin had two older half brothers from his father's previous relationship with another woman. His father abandoned Armin when he was 8, leaving him to be raised by his mother. Later on, after he had been arrested during sessions with police experts, Muse had explained that his desire for cannibalism related to the fairy tale Hansel and Gretel, that was a sort of obsession he developed in his adolescent years. He also described himself feeling very lonesome after the family had fallen apart.
Oh, poor thing.
How fucking sick are you guys of hearing murderers talk about, well, my parents were divorced. Fuck you. Most people's parents are divorced or unhappy.
I get upset and I just have to eat people.
Seriously.
So that's Muse's background a little bit. Nothing really too crazy.
Question.
Yeah.
What does the Hansel and Gretel thing mean to him? Does he go more into that?
Not really. Just that, I mean, this guy is he's like the very definition of like kiddie pool deep. Like he'll like say something that he thinks sounds really fucking smart and like deep and everything. Like, well, I got obsessed with this fairy tale when I was a kid, and then will not expand upon anything at all. So he's kind of basic dude. Now we're going to 2001. Muse, much older. I think he's in his early 60s now. He posts online in a chat room looking for a willing volunteer, stating that he is looking for a well-built 18 to 25-year-old to be slaughtered and then consumed.
Just on Facebook Marketplace, or
This is in a chat room. This is a cannibal-themed chat room where people would talk to each other about either being eaten or eating each other.
Wow.
And they would get into, like, you guys remember the fucking, what's the fucking fanfic episode? Where, like, you know what I'm talking about? The Omegaverse. Where people got really intense with the sexual descriptions. Now imagine that, but all of it is vor. All of it is just eating each other and being eaten. And that's not the only thing he posted. During the trial, it was found by police investigator Wolfgang Buck that he told the court about the secret online
Wolfgang
lives.
is German for Wolfgang.
Yes,
Wolfgang
it is,
is German for Wolfgang. He presented to the court all the information he found out about the secret online lives that Armin Muse and Jürgen Brandes had together. They were chat room addicts, hanging out in rooms such as the Cannibal Cafe, where humans are described as cows, and they describe their preferences for slaughtering said cows.
Well, that's just not wrong. We've heard it from numerous accounts that humans are most like pigs.
Long pork. That's right.
So true.
Book
And
told,
also that really cool air gun that was in No Country for Old Men.
yeah.
That's how you slaughter them.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
So, what was the first guy's name?
Armin Muse.
Armin Muse. Does he ever become like more developed and like kind of talking about it? Because I could go on more about the Hansel and Gretel thing because there's a lot of talk about what is it, etymology, like the history of stories.
The etymology?
Yeah, of Hansel and Gretel about having to do a lot with famine, having to do a lot with abandonment, and then having a lot to do with what's it called? Cannibalism. Like you mentioned before, it was way more common predating that time when Hansel and Gretel was first written, that in times of famine, you would either have to get rid of kids or eventually you would eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's great story. I don't want to get too much into it, but I just wanted to know, like, does he bring that back more?
He never brings that up again.
Okay.
He pretty much says it in court, and they're like, whatever. He doesn't get a chance to expand upon that.
Like the guy, if the judge was like, the witch was the bad guy, you idiot. Next.
What, you got a parking ticket you haven't paid? Fucking pay the fine. Move on. Police Detective Book told the court that in such sites, Muse, calling himself Frankie, posted more than 80 posts asking for a well-built man, 18 to 30, who would like to be eaten by me. Muse also posted videos of himself dismembering Barbie dolls in his childhood bedroom, videotaped himself smeared with ketchup, pretending to be slaughtered, and apparently had quite the coterie of violent death and violent pornography saved on his computer.
Quite the MySpace page.
Yeah. Book, the detective, also explained that Muse had spent time answering emails from about 204 people that he had wrote to be volunteers to be for his meal. He'd email photos of the slaughter room he'd built in his house, how he would describe how he used mattresses to soundproof the room, and an old metal patio table that would allow blood to drain to the floor.
So he's just cheap.
Well, he's resourceful. He's MacGyver in this thing. What are you gonna do? Renovate your whole house to eat people? No, you work with what you got.
Yeah, why are you being a hater over here?
Yeah, fucking extreme makeover cannibal edition over here.
I'm sorry,
Ed
you're
Gein
right.
did.
Well, Ed Gein had a lot of time and a whole farmhouse.
Yeah, that's true.
This guy's like in an apartment, dude. Can't be losing that deposit.
You didn't think of the smell.
The smell. Muse actually met a few people. He actually got a few to come to his house. They allowed themselves to be strung by their feet, as if for slaughter, as he outlined in marker the cuts of meat on their bodies. Muse said that that's as far as it went with everyone but one. Said none were ultimately willing to be eaten, and that he was constantly searching for a totally willing victim.
So that was his thing, like, because he clearly had them in a position which he easily could have killed him.
Well, that's kind of why this is titled Consensual Cannibalism, because
Right.
this guy very desperately wants to eat people, right? But he only wants to do it if they're 100% cool with him doing it. This is not Jeffrey Dahmer going out and grabbing people. This is a guy who's like, no, like,
Weird.
I'm going to eat you, but only if you want me to.
Yeah.
So does he kill them and eat them, or is he like, let me get that right leg?
Well, he hasn't eaten anybody yet.
Okay.
This is ethical cannibalism.
And that's so strange.
This is all just me building a legal case to eat people.
He said I could.
We're about to get into it. Don't worry. Finally,
I've got the image of just a limb like in his mouth, like barbecue style, you know. And it's what he said I could.
What? It's totally cool.
he said it was fun.
He's
Finally-
right-handed.
Muse finally gets an email back from Bernd Jürgen Armando Brandes, 43-year-old engineer from Berlin who answered in March of 2001. He answered by emailing back simply, "I'm your meat."
Whoa. Weird.
That was a month before he died.
Oh.
Which, like, you
How'd
know,
he die?
and I get it. You know, this guy's looking for an 18 to 25-year-old twink to nibble on. You want to know on Timothy Chalamet? I get it. But let's be real. Who are the kind of people who respond to that ad? You know, not sexy, lithe little twinks with cum gutters as deep as the roads to Cum Town. You're going to have to settle for who
I was
answers.
going to say, I guess 43-year-olds.
You're going to have to pick fucking 43-year-old belly hair out of your teeth, dude.
Yeah, he was like, fine.
I mean, we've all swiped left on people that we've regretted.
Truth.
So the two meet on March 9th in Muse's home. They make a videotape together. It's in the small town of Westerfield, west of Rotenburg and Der Fulda.
Let me guess. They were lip syncing to 99 red balloons.
99 Luftballons.
That's great.
What is that? It? Did
No,
I
the
get it?
video shows Muse amputating Brandis's penis
Damn.
with
Went
his
straight for the
agreement.
dick.
With his agreement, and the two men attempting to eat it together.
Good
Oh
lord.
my God. He's like, you want some of your dick?
Literally, like the defense very painstakingly pointed out several times throughout the video, Brandes wholeheartedly gives his agreement and consent to getting his dick cut off and eaten.
Yeah.
Did he roast it like a hot dog or?
Oh, dude, we're about to get into it.
Bun and sauerkraut?
Before doing so, before they cut his dick off, Brandes swallowed 20 sleeping pills, a whole bottle of cough syrup, and a few beers, which likely caused an effect of slowed breathing and extreme tiredness.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I would assume. Yeah.
Brandes.
Well, you never want to assume, Grant.
So he never like
Don't
throw,
assume.
he doesn't throw in a couple Viagra's too.
No. They ate it soft. Although Brandes did initially insist that Muse should attempt to bite his penis off.
Ah,
Yeah, this did not work, and ultimately, Muse used a knife to remove it.
chop it to chop.
Brandes apparently tried to eat some of his own penis raw, but could not manage it because it was too tough and, as he put it, chewy.
I was just going to say probably chewy.
Too chewy. Muse then fried the penis in a pan with salt, pepper, wine, and garlic.
Went the calamari route.
Yeah.
He then fried it with some of Brandes' own body fat that they had removed.
Wow.
But by then, it was too burnt to be consumed.
You only got
fucking
one
ruined
shot.
He then chopped the penis up into chunks and fed it to his dog.
Oh my God. The dog was like, this is pretty fucking good.
There's
Dog's
a
like, I
dog
like
in
it.
here? Oh, man. That
Yeah,
sucks.
think of that. Think that there's a dog watching this whole thing happen. Like, oh, I don't like this. Give him a penis chunk, and he's like, "That's all right."
Oh, okay.
According to court officials who saw the video, which has never been made public, Brandes may already have been too weakened from blood loss to eat any of his own penis, which the man's on 20 sleeping pills and a bottle of cough syrup and just got his dick cut off. Yeah, he's probably winking out, you know?
Yeah.
So they tried to lady and tramp his penis. Didn't work.
I'm just imagining the hangover the next day.
Glass half full time, though. Despite all the pain Brandes went through, it's probably got to help a little bit that apparently he had a hog that was a meal for two.
No, it makes it worse.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's a big old donger.
Yeah.
And
Apparently
he burnt it. He burnt the whole thing.
Burnt the whole thing.
Ruined it.
I mean, James could feed a family of 4 off that.
Shout out to good old Jimmy
That's what I'm saying.
Shercock.
What if all of a sudden James is just penisless? Wouldn't the world be a little more sad?
Yeah.
I think the world would end that day.
I think I'm a little bit more
People
upset.
would riot.
I mean, I would.
He put
I
so
might
much.
be the only one.
He put so much work into getting the penis and put so little work into cooking the penis.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you're
that-
in Germany.
Yeah.
Home of the sausage.
Seriously,
Yeah,
that's a
right.
fantastic point. I didn't even
Hell,
watch an episode of Top
He
Chef.
got
you
fucking
jackass.
Wiener Schnitzel. God. Fucking flatten that meat out. Bread it.
Yeah.
Little lemon juice.
Oh shit! You know what would really make this? Some human fat, and then just fucking burns it. Like he's like,
You
oh,
didn't even
Burns
think
the
about
shit out of
like
it.
the smoke coming in, like billowing. Oh fuck!
You didn't even think
Did he wander into the next room to watch his story? It's like, what the fuck's going on over here?
Did you even
Like,
think maybe I'll just try butter first?
Right.
Stupid.
Stupid.
Muse then ran Brandes a bath before going to read a Star Trek book, which I thought was interesting that they said it was a Star Trek book, but they didn't specify which one. It's probably Dark Mirror by Diane Duane. No, again, shout out nerds. All right. That's the second one. Don't say I never did nothing for you.
I just thought of a dish name for this. Dick confit.
Dick confit. That works on a couple levels.
That's good.
Very good.
That's good. Good
Yeah.
job.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Golf clap.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go touch myself tonight. And
Muse
thank you for its service.
Muse set a timer for every 15 minutes to check on Brandes in the bath. He just laid there bleeding, drifted in and out of consciousness.
Wait,
After
they didn't cauterize it or anything?
no, they just let it bleed free.
Oh my god.
After being on painkillers and
Well, he was probably pretty loosey goosey by that point.
I mean, I imagine, but like alcohol and all that shit makes your blood thin.
and then you get in a hot bath. I
Right.
mean,
oh
come on.
yeah,
That's
well, the ultimate goal was to eat all of him,
Oh,
which we, after a long hesitation and prayer, Muse killed Brandis by stabbing him in the throat. He specified that he prayed before doing this. Killed him by
To what?
You know,
Dear God,
Our
I
Lord
hope
and
this is
Savior.
okay.
it must be because you put me in this situation, Mr. Omnipotence.
He prayed to Big Bird. I just know that.
Killed him, stabbed him in the throat. Afterwards, he hung his body on a meat hook to drain it. He recorded the incident on a 4-hour videotape of him killing him, stringing up the body, and bleeding it. Muse dismembered and ate the corpse over the next 10 months, storing body parts in his freezer.
Frieza.
I was thinking about Dragon Ball Z. In his freezer. God damn it. Under pizza boxes. I suck today. You know what? That's all right.
Hang on, is he pulling all this off in his German apartment?
Yeah, he's in his apartment.
Wow.
You know what? Props to him.
What's that smell?
It's nothing.
Worst German accent.
I've smelled
I told you I suck today.
He's doing great.
Austin got it with like an old Jewish man.
There's Jewish Germans. Well, there
You're right.
was.
There
No, there's still plenty are. But anyway.
No, thanks to Germany.
Jesus Christ.
So he dismembered and ate him over the next 10 months, stored the body parts in his freezer, under pizza boxes, in Tupperware, all over the place.
Oh, boy.
Over the next 10 months, he ate 44 pounds worth of flesh.
Wow.
Muse actually noted.
Did he put out a recipe book?
Fucking shitting all over with a joke I was going to
Oh,
have
I'm
later
sorry,
on.
sorry.
Nah, it doesn't fucking matter. Fuck this script.
No, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Here's my new book, Home and Cooking.
That's better than what I had written down. We're just going to go with that.
No, what do you got? What do you got?
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Come on.
I'll tell you later when it comes up in the script.
Okay. I'm waiting for it.
Muse did note in an interview with Stern Magazine that he believed that he was becoming closer to Brandis with each piece that he ate, including to go so far as to say he believed that Brandis's skills at speaking English had been passed on to him.
Cool.
I know. I don't think it works that way, but it's pretty cool.
This is delicious. This is delicious. I'll have finger. One finger.
Wow.
Here's the bottom line. I don't know. I was just trying to think of the most English thing to say.
Listen here, pal.
Yeah. Jules, feel free to put another bomb drop there.
He just bomb dropped this whole episode, Jules. So December 2002, a college student answered one of Muse's ads, very quickly surmised that this dude was legit cray-cray and alerted authorities to Muse's online postings and that he was pretty damn sure that this guy had actually killed someone. Investigators searched his home after obtaining a warrant and almost immediately found body parts as well as a videotape of the killing.
Wow.
I don't think this would have happened
What's
in the
this?
United States.
I don't think it would have either.
Like if you would have called and been like, this guy's killing people and eating them, they're like, well, has he hit you or something?
Yeah. Is he black?
I
Like
don't know. Do
this
you
guy
wanna
would have
press
flown under the
charges?
radar for a long time.
I'm sorry. Legally speaking, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah. A man's free to do whatever he wants to in his own home.
Yeah. Unless we bust into that home accidentally serving a warrant to the wrong place and we kill him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in 2023 was the deadliest year for police violence since we've been recording it.
I'm not surprised. I did not know that fact.
Yeah.
though.
Doesn't have anything to do with this episode, but just, you know.
Yeah.
Like the
Just
police
wanted
are
to
killing
elevate
the most amount of people.
the energy of
Yeah.
the room. Yeah, I got you.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. So Muse is arrested pretty immediately. He is diagnosed with a schizoid personality, but deemed fit to stand trial. Muse's defense did their best. Lawyer Harold Ermel pointed out that because cannibalism is not strictly against the law in Germany, and because the victim, and those are air quotes that I'm quoting from him, was wholly willing, the only crime really committed was assisted suicide, which only carries a maximum sentence of 5 years. Boom, lawyered.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Which is, you know,
Did they change the law after that?
They sure did.
Okay, cool. I don't know.
They very explicitly put in, don't eat people.
Like the judge was like, well, I hate to say it, but he's got a point.
Admittedly, that's not bad lawyering.
Yeah.
It probably, they routinely brought up the fact that Muse had not, and this is true, forced anyone to do anything they didn't agree to.
Right.
Even the prosecution had to admit that the client, I guess, that they were prosecuting on behalf of, had to admit that numerous times Brandis himself on video, which they showed during the trial, very openly gives his consent to being eaten and expresses his desire to die.
This is cool. This is fine.
Right now, I keep thinking about the little silica packets that come and stuff.
Yeah, do not eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah.
I've always looked at them as like, that means that somebody ate this.
Right. Yeah, seriously.
I just imagine him being strapped to a table while being videotaped, and just casually lifting his head up and I'm fine.
Still very much consensual. It did not help that during the trial, Muse admitted to enjoying the meat for mostly lunch and breakfast, and that it paired really well with, I'm not shitting you, a South African red wine.
Hell
Specific.
Yeah.
So how's your day going? You having a good day? I ate him Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I like the idea that it's maybe a little too heavy for dinner.
Yeah. No, he weirdly, I don't know why. Maybe it wasn't a dinner guy, which I can't relate to. I'm an every meal kind of guy.
Maybe the dreams.
Maybe.
Yeah, weird dreams.
Long pork gives you weird dreams.
Yeah.
Hang on, did they say in the courtroom if they played the full 4-hour video?
They played parts of it.
Sure.
They played a lot of it, but they didn't play all of it.
Because that's a hell of a jury.
Yeah,
that can
to
just
sit for 4 hours
That's what I was
and
thinking.
watch that.
Just wake up, be there at 9 a.m.
You're there against your will,
Yeah. They're like, here's a Subway sandwich. Watch this 4-hour video of this guy getting his dick cut off.
I don't know how German court works, but when I went to court for my DUI, they had things going on before my stuff, right? I saw this guy go through a whole domestic violence thing. They got everybody out of the room for the murder trial.
Oh, sure.
But I'm wondering if it's the same, because if not, I was just sitting there and I'm like, now everything that I did just doesn't seem as bad anymore.
Your Honor, I didn't do all that.
So can we just call it even? It seems like you got your hands full.
Can we just call it even, Steven?
You had a long day, buddy.
You got all these murderers going on. I'll just tell you I fucked up if you let me off. We okay?
You need some money? I'll get you some money. But can I just go?
Just set a little latte on the
Your Honor, you look stressed. Here's a latte. I'm ordering Chick-fil-A. Do you want some?
I'm DoorDashing Chick-fil-A. You want anything? My treat. No Polynesian sauce. Oh, fuck Chick-fil-A.
Just throw that.
Yeah, it's so good.
I love Chick-fil-A.
During the trial, all of Muse's and Brandis's dirty laundry was aired. First oddity was that neither of them seemed the type to take part in cannibalism. They were both pretty well liked by their neighbors. Muse lived in a massive gingerbread-style house surrounded by meadows, which is the most German thing I've heard this so far.
Hang on.
Fuck yeah.
Say that. Run that by me.
Gingerbread-style house. He's eating people. Fuck yeah.
Seriously, he is the witch.
Yeah. Awesome.
He lived in a massive gingerbread-style house surrounded by meadows in Rothenburg, which is, if you care, about 161 kilometers southeast of Kassel in central Germany.
Okay.
Most of the neighbors admitted they didn't know Muse super well. The only thing they knew was that he was single, repaired ATMs and computer screens for a living, and fixed up classic cars as a hobby. Brandis was kind of the same, not really well-known super by his neighbors. He was a software developer for Siemens. Thank you. And apparently highly respected in his field for work on telecommunication systems. Athletic, organized, pretty generally well-liked. Beyond that, both of them had some deep-seated troubles. They had a couple of psychiatrists sit in on the trial and question witnesses. Apparently, both men had troubled relationships with their mothers. They believe that Brandes might have blamed himself for his mother's death when he was 12 years old in a car crash, which, or whatever that's worth to you. Muse's mother, by contrast, was domineering, berated him loudly and publicly, lived with him until her death, and even went with him on dates and along on troop outings in the early 1980s when Muse was in the German army.
Wow.
I know.
Just a tough-ass German.
That is a crazy red flag.
Yeah, right?
How old was she?
Old enough to die, I guess.
'Cause
I don't know how old she was when she died.
Just survived World War I, World War II. Just
I don't think she was that old.
Okay.
She probably was born around the tail end or maybe just before World War II.
Okay.
Actually, maybe a little bit before. Muse did claim that such treatment led him to create a new persona called Frankie, that he described as both a persona and an imaginary brother who listened to him, which is pretty sad.
Oh,
Apparently,
pitiful.
I think it's Frankie.
Frankie. Frankfurter. If you, we're getting it back. If you remember, the name that he posted his online forums was Frankie. So,
Right.
armchair psychologist, that all you will. Both men had large secret lives. Brandes was openly bisexual, lived with a man, dated women, but was frequenting a tall male sex worker named Emmanuel and demanded more and more violent sex. Emmanuel actually was brought into the trial as, like, I guess, a sort of character witness. I think he was brought in by the defense to try to essentially be like, hey, like, Brandes had problems too. He very much wanted to die. You know, he didn't do anything wrong. Showed up as witnesses testify in German court. They testify usually alone, but he was surrounded by the defense, panel of judges, prosecution, and the expert witnesses. He told the court that mostly Brandes wasn't happy, but he was addicted to sex. And he did explain that Brandes frequently would ask him to either cut off or bite off or just eat his penis.
So it was a thing of his.
So this was not a Armin Muse talked him into it. This was like, I want this to happen.
Yeah.
So strange.
I know.
See, it's just.
Well, there's that whole story. There's that guy.
It goes to show you.
I was gonna say it goes to show you, like, there's somebody out there for everybody.
Well, there's a guy. I think
That's what you're taking away from this?
True love.
I know they shut it. Yeah. Because he's going through like I think currently going through like criminal cases or whatever. But a guy had set up like a online like video streaming like a Patreon type thing, but I think it was his own deal, which is pretty incredible because it had like hundreds of thousands of like subscribers to it. But he was like castrating people or cutting off their penises on video, and then people would buy to watch this thing happen. But there's a lot of people that were willingly doing this. You know?
Like Pain Olympics?
The Pain
Kinda,
Olympics.
but like
Jesus Christ.
more extreme.
What do you
pretty
mean
recent.
more extreme?
The
One
Pain
guy was-
Olympics were pretty
Yeah,
fucking
one
extreme.
dude filleted his penis on camera.
That's a
God,
good point.
That
That's a
guy who
good
sat
point.
on the pickle jar.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I
The
mean,
early
that,
days
that
of
was
the internet were
that was
fucking-
recent.
Fucking Wild West, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Scientists were like, now I can share all my findings with other scientists.
This will bring everyone together.
And everyone is also like, you want to see me fillet my penis? Boy, howdy do I.
Oh my god.
That's such a good point.
It's like, nah, dude, this is
I can
humanity's
talk to every
raging
other
id.
scientist in the world. We get so much research done so quickly. Chopping penises. Oh, the dichotomy of man.
Emmanuel testified that he had been asked to bring a knife to sex, which he did, and that he had played along a little bit and told him that he was going to cut off his penis, but obviously didn't.
Smart.
Yep. And essentially was not, like, he testified that he was not surprised that Brandes ended up like this. Mm-hmm. And despite the prosecution's calling of Emmanuel and their case of, come on, he was asking for it. On January 30th, 2004, Muse was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 8 years and 6 months in prison.
Oof.
He was officially charged with manslaughter?
He was. As you might imagine, the case attracted considerable media attention. When speaking to a German newspaper, Muse admitted that cannibalizing Brandes had been a mistake and expressed regret for his actions, but ultimately said that it was something that he had to do and couldn't help himself.
Whoa.
Yeah, he just got caught. I mean, come on.
It won't happen again.
He did add that he wanted to write a biography with the aim of deterring people from following in his footsteps. People actually...
It's just going to fly off the
Step
shelves.
1, stay off of the internet.
And it's been over 20 years later, and there's no word on that autobiography, but supposedly he is coming up with a cookbook.
Okay.
I liked it. I
Yeah.
liked it.
All right.
I liked it.
I'm here
That's
for
good.
it.
That's good. That's good.
Thanks.
What's it called?
Whatever Austin said.
Home cooking. It's terrible.
How about like cocky cooking? You know?
Tales of the Crockpot.
Tales of the Crockpot. I like that.
Yeah.
Also, just in general, I'd probably buy that because I'm really lazy. I like crockpot cooking.
Crockpot's cool.
Yeah.
What's the book that Hansel and Gretel is from?
Grimm's Tales?
Grimm's
Fairy Tales?
Grimm's Fairy Tales of the Crockpot.
Brothers Grimm.
Brothers Grimm's Crockpot.
Brothers Grimm. To Serve Man?
I like that.
That's all right.
I like that a lot. To serve man.
To serve man's.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I like it.
How to learn English for dummies?
Just eat someone that
Eat
speaks
someone who
English.
speaks English. Duh.
This book is 2 pages long.
Learning
One
English
just says-
and meal planning for dummies.
Right. The first page is just the title again.
Hey, random question. Not really. It pertains to this topic. I can't remember the brain disease right now, but
Bad cow?
no, there is a brain disease that you can get if you eat too many people.
Oh, yeah.
And I was curious, does it take a lot of human consumption? Is it like, did this guy end up with it? I mean, did they do any kind of
No,
studies
he's
see
fine.
if Muse had?
He's
any
still
kind
in
of-
prison,
okay,
but he's
interesting.
fine. Yeah, I don't know if it's like if you eat a certain person one time, if you can get it, or if it's the amount of people ate over time.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're just more susceptible to it.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I was just thinking about that.
If I remember correctly, because I looked it up years ago, because I thought it was so interesting. The disease is called Kuru, which is the same thing as
Yeah.
mad cow, just
Yeah,
for humans. But they said that it takes years to kind of set in. Like it slowly but surely starts eating away at the brain tissue.
Okay. So
Oh,
Muse
so you might
may
have it
end
now.
up with it.
But like if you eat a human, it's not like you get it like the first day.
I think
Like,
it's if you specifically eat the brains.
Mm.
It says Kurua is found among people from New Guinea who practice a form of cannibalism, which they ate the brains of dead people as part of the funeral ritual. So it's eating dead brains.
Okay. Okay.
So like in Hannibal, when he's eating that dude's brains, and he's still alive. Do you think that changes anything? Or
I guess if it's fresh, probably not.
yeah,
Because I mean, like there are
remember
cultures
that?
that eat the
Yeah,
brains
too.
of other animals. Like that's a thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had brain.
My dad eats
Have you had
brains.
brain?
What kind of
Actually-
brains?
Pig. It was a head cheeseburger. I had
Oh.
one time. It's fucking really good, actually.
Who coined that term?
Head cheese. Yeah, I know.
We'll just call it head cheese.
It sounds so bad.
Right.
It's kind of hat on the hat there, but whatever.
Does it taste like pork?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Was it like an emulsified patty type deal, or
Yeah, it was a patty, and I think there was other elements to it as well, not just brain.
like an ear
Sure.
or an eye,
Yeah.
tooth, whatever?
I think that particular style is you actually take the head and you like slow cook it down,
Yeah, peel it
to
all
such a
off.
break, and then
I
you
see.
break it up and then make it into a patty. Interesting texture, but
Yeah.
it was really pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll eat anything once. Probably
Yeah.
not people though.
Probably not people.
Probably not.
Don't say that too. Don't count your chickens before they hatched. While in prison, Muse actually became a vegetarian, which is just so
if I
on
can't
the
eat
nose.
people, I'm not eating any meat.
Nothing ever tastes the same. It'll never taste as good.
When asked about his online community, he estimated that there are about 800 cannibals in Germany.
Wow.
Which for Germany honestly sounds kind of low. There might be more.
Could you imagine like eating a cheeseburger? You're just like, It's not the same.
Yeah, you're like, never again. In April 2005, a German court ordered a retrial after prosecutors appealed Muse's sentence, arguing that he should have been convicted of murder, claiming that he had killed for sexual gratification, which he did.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
He definitely did. Court ruled that the original trial had ignored the significance of the video in disproving the argument that Muse only killed because he had been asked to kill. Little column A, little column B. At his retrial, psychologists stated that he believed Muse could reoffend as he still had fantasies about devouring the flesh of young people.
Great. That's exactly what you admit to having.
So pretty swiftly, the following year, a court in Frankfurt convicted Muse of murder and sentenced him to life imprisonment.
You ever just like
Wait, they can do
not
that?
say what you think?
They can, apparently, in Germany.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
Huh.
They can fucking retry your ass.
Wow.
Seems fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily coming down on this dude's side, but I'm also not on this dude's
I
side.
feel like he probably said
Because, I mean, that's...
the young kid thing to someone, and they were like, "Nah, now you crossed the line.
Right.
Yeah,
there's that,
we're
for
letting
sure.
you go." And like he heard about veal, and it's like veal's just
I mean,
young,
that's
and it's
quite
delicious.
literally double jeopardy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He admits
I know.
to wanting to eat young people. His lawyer's like, dude, shut up. Shut up.
Stop saying the flesh of young people.
Seriously.
As of 2020, because of good
like
behavior.
he's on probation. Like we're on probation court, and it's like, what are you gonna do when you get out? I'm thinking about fresh young meat.
I figured 40's too old. I'm thinking about 4.
Going back to the barely legal.
What? I can't say that? Oh, all of a sudden?
In Germany, the age of consent's 14, so I'm not the monster. As of 2020, because of good behavior, Muse has been allowed to go outside of prison for supervised excursions.
It's good behavior.
Apparently, when he goes out on his supervised excursions, they put him in disguise.
Awesome.
Which is just so funny to me. Like being like, all right, Muse, you ready? And he puts on a fedora and a trench coat. And he's like,
See, my head went to Lederhosen in like a curly blonde wig. I don't know
that's
why.
good too.
Yeah.
It is Germany.
Either way, I still see like the glasses with the nose and mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then actually last year in 2023, Muse's former home was burnt down in what was suspected to be an arson case. 2 juvenile suspects.
Suspected.
Yeah, suspected. I know, right? 2 juvenile suspects were under investigation, but no arrests have been made. Kind of like when they burned Gein's house down. I think they're just kind of like,
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, let's just get,
you know
rid of
what?
this.
We're done.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. But if we got to have a moral for the end of this, is this just a case of let consenting adults do what they will? Is Muse's unholy appetite a crime? Or is it simply a kink taken to its extreme but natural conclusion?
No, yes, and yes.
And that's murder schmurder.
Hard cut. Goddamn.
Yeah. I want everybody listening right now to just go home and thank your penis for being there.
Yeah.
You
Take
know?
a look at it. And
If you have one, of
Right.
course.
if you have one.
Right.
And if
just-
you don't, think whatever you got going on.
Think that it could always be worse.
And if you don't want it, that's fine too. But go to a doctor.
Right.
I'll go so far as to say if you want to eat your penis, okay, but maybe go to an American Mary type expert or doctor or something.
Or like rent a cabin, middle of the woods. Nobody will hear you screaming.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if I...
But you stay
guess-
in that cabin and you live with yourself. Okay.
Yeah. Stay.
Yeah. You don't go back out into the public.
No, you're done with public.
I'm all for it. Like, I mean, like you do you, bud. But like
Right.
for the rest of us, just, leave us out of it.
Well, he did try to leave people out of it. They're the ones who came into his house and took all his violent
That's what I'm
pornography
saying.
and
You
his
go-
body parts.
So I say you go to the middle of the woods,
Yeah.
like that weird Nick Cage movie. Have you seen that where it's like,
Pig.
Mandy?
yeah, Mandy.
Mandy was
rips,
so
dude.
cool.
It's so good.
Yeah.
God, it was so weird.
All sorts
I
of
loved
crazy
it.
shit goes out in the middle of the fucking woods.
Yeah. I do want to watch Pig, though.
I
Have you
haven't
guys seen it?
yet. Mm-mm.
I haven't seen Pig, but I saw Mandy when I was freaking stoned,
Dude,
And I was
same.
like, nah.
It's like a mural on the side of a van was a movie.
Yeah, I was like,
Wow, yes.
Fucking kicks ass,
1,000%.
Yeah.
And there's just one red light bulb in the
Yeah.
van when you open the sliding door.
not gonna lie, I
And
definitely
you don't go get in that van.
I definitely,
I would.
I
I'm getting in that van.
definitely skimmed through a couple of pages of the Bible that night. I was like, this is too fucked up. But I was like,
Skimmed a couple pages of the Bible.
Yeah, John 3:16. Now, yeah, I got it.
I'm sorry.
I get it.
Adam
My
and
bad.
Eve,
So, Joseph, what's
they were
your
naked,
final
it's
take on it?
bad.
Like, do you think he should have been jailed?
I mean,
Like, you have a lot of very hot takes, including like, I mean, I think we all do, but like one of the hottest takes that you have is how, in my book, is you think that all drugs should be federally legalized.
yeah.
I'm with him on that. Yeah.
I think all drugs should be legal. I think
Look at Portugal.
yeah. And I mean, tax them. I mean, that's the only way to properly show that you will have safe drugs.
Also, you take that money from the tax drugs and then you provide a needle service to people. And
Needle exchanges
Yeah.
very, very, very often tend to show that if you have a needle exchange program in your community, it not only like reduces the rates of intravenous like
transmitted diseases.
transmitted diseases. Thank you, Grant. It also even like tends to slow down actual drug use because they have places. I think there was one in New York where they not only have a needle exchange, but they have a place where you can come safely do heroin,
Yeah.
where they basically just curtain off and they're like, listen,
Registered
if you're going to do
nurses
it,
often are
we're going to give you
applying it.
clean needles.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a safe place to be. It reduces drug overdoses. It reduces a lot of harmful behavior associated with drug use in general.
Mm-hmm.
It also tends to lead people to feeling more comfortable in a place where they start to crave the essentially the community aspect of going in and being like taken care of and being shown like not just a place to use drugs, but also a place where people care about you. And it tends to help with recidivism rates
Right.
amongst like drug users in general.
Yeah.
they're not shunned into hiding.
Exactly. They're not dying somewhere under a bridge
And there's
because
a
they're
few-
terrified of anyone finding them.
There's a few communities, like in Europe especially, that actually it's administered by registered nurses, but there's almost always a like psychologist or a psychiatrist on hand.
Yeah, and they don't
And-
force you to talk to them necessarily.
Right. But they're there to talk to if you want to. And
Yeah.
a lot of people end up getting clean that way.
It's crazy how if you give people resources to treatment, care, and just a place to be a human being, it tends to help.
I unfortunately lived very close to somebody who was addicted to heroin, and like the amount of shame that I would see on that guy's face,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the coming back, he's like, I'm really gonna do it this time. I'm really gonna do it this time.
Yeah.
And then you find out months later that he was just doing it the whole time,
Yeah.
or maybe he had like made some steps, but he would always fall back.
Yeah.
And then like there's the shame and failing, and then there's the hiding
makes it
again,
worse, yeah.
and just the cycle continues.
I remember when I was like freshly like getting clean from like hard drugs and like I years ago I spent a couple of years like totally sober because I needed to because I just was not in a good place where I could like I literally couldn't have one beer or one rail or one whatever. Like it was just like if I had it I was gonna do all of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And if I didn't have it, that was the only way to keep myself like from doing it.
And it sucks so
And
much.
it sucks
to the-
real hard. It's a really terrible way to live.
It's the worst.
It's but it's also it helps. I white knuckled it for a couple of years and then did some work on myself and everything, and now I can recreationally enjoy myself with you guys or by myself, mostly with you guys, monsters. No. But I had a friend who was getting methadone because he used to be like an intravenous heroin user, and he would get methadone. And he was spending more on methadone than he was just buying heroin. Mm-hmm. And it was just...
It became a financial thing, probably.
It became a financial burden because he physically couldn't do without... he didn't have any endogenous opiates left in his body. His body wasn't producing it. So he literally would either be like, I can spend more money than I was buying illegal drugs, or I can just like be in pain all the time, or I can just go back to chipping and hoping I'm doing like just enough heroin to stave off the shakes while I try to wean myself off of it.
Right.
I mean, in so many communities, you are set up to fail. I mean, never mind that the fucking CIA gave crack, like spread crack throughout the neighborhoods in the 80s, but it's a whole other thing.
So, Jamie, back to it. We got
But-
sidetracked by drugs.
sidetracked by drugs.
What was your question?
But my hot take for this is that I think the biggest right anyone should have and can have is bodily autonomy. Abortion is wrapped up in that, but also just the right to life. You know what I mean? Like, you see people who are in difficult circumstances who sometimes want to choose to end their own lives. And I think that is something you should allow people to do. Obviously, a 16-year-old who wants to end their life is different from like a 43-year-old who's been around and is like, I'm done. Like, there are some people who are in situations where they have decided they've seen enough.
But there's also like debilitating diseases that are going to get worse.
Exactly.
And so are you choosing to just go ahead and call it now or suffer for 6 more years?
Yeah, typically it's going to be in cases where where patients are terminal.
Yeah.
And honestly, there are people that in my own family who decided to off themselves rather than put a crushing financial burden on their family having to pay for
all that medical care.
All the medical care, but also knowing that, like, okay, so I can have a year of vomiting, losing my hair, and like shitting blood with a colostomy bag, or I can have 3 months of where I'll basically feel not so good, but like a human being. And I think that that's an extremely important, dignified, painful choice to have to make for yourself. And I think that if someone wants to die and wants to be eaten, and another guy wants to eat them, morally, I don't really have a problem with that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm still very much in the camp of let's let medical professionals be, like, I guess, judge, jury, and executioner in this instance. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just
I mean, it'd be good if there was a German doctor that was like, Weenie Hut Juniors will fucking cut your dick off for you. No problem.
With a hibachi chef next door.
This is more of a salty spittoon kind of dick. He's got a big scar on it.
How tough are you?
In those instances, like Muse, for example, I think if he had gotten enough psychiatric help, hopefully he wouldn't be still trying to find
I mean, there was something wrong with both of them.
And eat,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's something wrong with everybody. And I mean,
sure.
I don't know. I find it difficult to like put too much judgment on this dude because, again, the key word is consent. And consent changes things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It really does. And also, like, I don't know, how much are we going to mollycoddle people? Are we going to tell people that, no, you don't want to have your penis eaten? I mean, if he does, he does.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
We're fucking grown-ass people. I don't know.
No, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of weird predilections out there,
And also, like, to me, it seems kind of maybe not dehumanizing, but like condescending to like say that, like, well, if someone wants to do something that's unnatural or abnormal or out of hand.
That's the word I was trying to think of.
Picadillo.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's all right. But I think if you're going to say that someone, well, they're mentally ill, it's like, well, okay, I'm mentally ill. Are you going to say that if I want to do something that someone doesn't agree with, that my opinion no longer is valid? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, come on.
I think Austin's checked out.
I'd say for the most part, I'm pretty much on board. Like, there's the legal aspect where I do think he did something illegal because they
wasn't on the books.
Not the eating part, but like the assisted suicide. Because of that being part of the law, yes, he did break the law, and he needs to be reprimanded in some way. You can't just like fully let it slide if that is the law. But outside of that, in my own moral handbook, there aren't a lot of pages in that handbook, but in that moral handbook,
it's more like a chat book or like a pamphlet.
Cliff notes.
It's one of those composition books that you get in middle school.
Yeah. Like a single subject note.
Yeah, right. That's like the black and white, almost like splotchy texture on the front.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah, I use them all the time.
Yeah, dude. I got one in the backpack right now.
In my moral handbook, if two people are fully consenting and without a doubt both want the same thing and totally consent to it, whether it involves sexual kinks, whether it involves cannibalism, or even taking another one's life, I think that it should be totally moral, legal, and okay. Of course, there are extremes, but, again, it seems like they both went out of their way to videotape it, to say that there was consent, to have receipts in like emails or messages or whatever, just so like Muse could walk away if all things went belly up without any legal ramifications. It seems like they had that foresight. That oddly enough, that part of foresight.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of hung up on the idea of some kind of supervision or something, because it's such an extreme case. You know what I mean?
It is, but I don't want to make it anyone's job to oversee this.
That's a good point too. That's a fantastic point.
Like
actually.
the only person I could think
that poor
of,
caseworker.
yeah, either a caseworker or straight up a mortician, I think would be the only people that could handle such a case.
How's your day, honey? How's your day, honey? This other guy wanted to cut off this other guy's penis and eat it, and they were both okay with it. So, we
did it.
my supervisor said it was fine as long as I was there, and God, the nightmares.
Let's just say I earned that overtime. What do you think, Austin? You want to nibble on a dick?
No. I don't know.
You think it's okay? You think it's bad?
Do I think it's okay for him to consensually kill somebody? I'm leaning on the bad side, but I'm trying to think. It's the problem is I can't think of a valid why.
I mean, if you think it's bad, that's okay.
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't really go against my morals, but it should.
I killed someone yesterday. So
not quite the opposite. Like, my morals are like, don't kill people, even if it's like they're asking you to kill them. That being said, those are my morals, and they're not somebody else's.
But that's a pretty good moral. I mean, that's totally fine. That's a valid point.
I mean, I'm just thinking about and this is my dad coming. I'm thinking of like the property damage of that apartment. Like, could you imagine the
resale
landlord
value is just plummeted,
and that's why there's an R next to his name.
say this
like they dropped the manslaughter cases, but the landlord comes in.
No one's thinking about the landlord.
I mean, but could you imagine, this guy is arrested. You now have to resell this property. And you have to, I would assume.
You're doing your damnedest to clean it up, and then someone burns it down. You're like, son of a bitch.
Right. I mean, honestly, I think I would hope that somebody burned it down. Like, as long as I got insurance, that's cool. But you have to
forever the pragmatist.
You'll have to tell people what happened in that apartment.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. You're like, this guy tried to fucking, carve this other guy. It was a whole thing, but the rent is $1,700.
Dude, if I found the right apartment or house to rent and everything about it was great, and then the guy was like, "Listen, I kind of have to tell you,
legally, I have to disclose.
That these dudes ate one dude's penis in this apartment." I'd be like, I mean.
So to be honest with you,
was it haunted by the penis?
So in that,
you guys cleaned it up, right? It's like, of course, we're fine.
So in that sense,
that's fine.
I think that it's really selfish to maybe kill somebody, even if they ask for it or not, just to satiate your own sort of fantasy, and that to me is wrong.
Yeah,
I think that's the
moral,
moral.
and maybe that could tie in with my idea of this being some kind of supervised situation. Luckily, we don't need, societally speaking, to build a facility in which people can cut off and eat each other's penises.
Right.
But maybe do that there as opposed to a building that somebody else owns.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a community center.
We have virtual reality now. Go live your life there.
That's also true.
Man, can you imagine the VR Cannibal chats?
I imagine it's a lot like what was it called again? The
Cannibal Cafe.
Cannibal Cafe.
Yeah.
Jinx. Yeah.
You know how there's the Bunny Ranch and stuff like that in Vegas?
Yeah.
And I'm sure people fly all over the world.
I hate how fast I answered that.
Why, you want to go?
Yeah, 4th and Main. Yeah, it's great. Wings are pretty good.
But I would imagine tons of people fly all over the world to go get the piece of the action that they want.
Yeah.
Amsterdam, yeah, for sure.
Well, I thought Amsterdam versus fucking Las Vegas.
If I'm not mistaken,
I'm sure there's some Japanese guy who's just I want American women.
If
I'm going to go to Bunny Ranch.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure there's tons of Americans who are I want to go see what Amsterdam has.
If you have to make a reservation, right?
I don't know how it works, actually.
No clue.
Isn't the Bunny Ranch in the middle of the desert?
Yeah. It's an hour
isolated.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking about the cabin in the woods? go do your thing, but just
Well, that's what I was saying. Like,
stay there.
I think that we should make one of these, like find a place where it's completely legal and just post up there, because I'm sure there's a market for it, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's still death cults in this beautiful country of ours.
Grant can supervise the whole situation, and we just rake in the buckets, bro.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Maybe, but I'm getting paid the most.
What about second most? Because it was technically my idea.
Hang on, it was technically my idea.
I stole
Hold
it.
on, I'm the one that said something about being isolated in the middle of nowhere. I think this is
four-way split.
Austin, your
and you guys just toss me the keys and walk away. It's like, damn it.
Don't forget to mail that check, homie.
my input was what now?
yeah, I know where the Bunny Ranch is. Let's go.
Yeah, right. No, I didn't say let's go. You said, does anybody know about the Bunny Ranch? I was like, yeah.
Who doesn't?
I watched that show all the time as a
Trip.
kid. No, it would come on like those late night Skinamax.
Watch the hell out of
channels.
that shit too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was on either right before or right after Sexo Urbano, which talked about the nightlife in like Uruguay, Paraguay.
I remember that show too.
Yeah, that one was cool. That one was more like you were learning rather than getting horny. You were both, but right. You're like, oh, this is this is what nightlife is like out there.
Yeah.
Fucking with a notebook open, just taking notes, pitching a tent. Like, oh, fascinating.
No, you had
the
the remote in one hand with like the last, so it switches to like Cartoon
of course.
Network.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
No,
hit
I was watching Cartoon Network.
yeah, you hit the. This
Mine was Cartoon Network too.
Yeah.
It's a good fallback.
Yeah.
This was my move. Like I would like if I would hear footsteps, I would hit the last button and then hit the channel up button. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so they can't hit
last.
That's smart. Come on.
Nice.
Oh, I was a horny little
No, Mom, I
fucker.
was watching the History Channel. Yeah.
Why are you hard? Because they're talking about World War II.
At that point, they were probably talking about lizard people. So, like at that point of the night,
Oh, yeah.
probably talk about lizard people.
The
on
fucking
History
dude
Channel.
with the hair.
Yeah,
Giorgio or whatever.
I'm not saying it's aliens,
Long pause.
but I think it's aliens.
Okay, well, to wrap up this wonderful episode done by Joey, feel free to email us at don'temailtrashful@gmail.com telling us if you had to have your penis eaten by one of us, which one would you choose?
That's a strange question. But
That's
email
a
us
good
anyway. Don't email trashville@gmail.com.
Or if you don't want us to eat your penis, or if you don't have a penis, that's totally fine. Just email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com the parts of your body you would like us to eat.
Hell, give us your moral stance on the issue.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
If you got a good
Or ethical
recipe
stance.
that you think would be good for human genitals of any sort, email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com.
Really, any parts, Like, I wonder what the recipe for like thigh would be.
I think thigh and buttocks are usually the most like good parts
Yeah.
to eat.
I like the idea what you said, dick confit, like that.
Dick confit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dick on feet.
Yeah. And also sign up for our Patreon. Only $10 a month. You can help support us. To
Look, you
make
forget
more
about the
of this weird
$10
shit.
as
More of
soon
this
as you click
wonderful-
the subscribe button. It's like it doesn't even exist.
That's true.
That's true.
Grant, you got anything else you want to end on?
No. Like subscribe to the whole thing. I will say this, and I'm just going to say it. If you do join our Patreon, when we make shirts, we'll send you one.
There you go.
Hey.
Free shirts.
free.
A free?
You know what? Yeah. I'll tell you what.
That's fair.
If you're on the Patreon and you're subscribed for 2 solid months, we'll send you a shirt.
Yeah.
You got to pay us twice, we'll send you a shirt.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on board.
And then you know
I
what?
like
We'll
that.
think of some other fun things to do.
Are we doing custom shirts, like whatever they want shirts?
Nah, we'll get a surprise shirt.
Surprise shirt.
Let's get a few more Patreon members. I'll just mail you one of my shirts. It still smells.
It's terrible.
It doesn't smell terrible.
It smells
Grant.
like Joseph.
This one's got a lot of holes in it.
That's a Joseph.
This one doesn't have holes. I don't
The
think.
sleeves have been ripped off. Wait, bitten off?
Just happens naturally.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
All right. Well,
Adios.
enjoy your next meal.
Bye.
Like what you hear? Subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Trashville_USA. And if there's a true crime story you want the gang to cover, Email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com. Murder Schmurder is produced by Jamie. Our tracking engineer is Grant. And our mix and mastering engineer is Julie. Incidental music and our theme song is provided by Jules. This has been another production of